Hello everybody, my name is Harshita Vyas and I am an Assistant Professor in Rai School of Management Studies in Rai University, Ahmedabad. So today I am going to talk about financial management course, and this is the unit 1 which talks about personal financial planning. So let's quickly start learning about what personal financial planning is. So before moving on to what personal financial planning is, let's understand why is it important to have a plan before making a financial decision. Like you can see that there is a basket in which there are different eggs that are kept there. So and all the eggs have names on it, that is savings, investments, house, property, gifts, equity, money, job, everything. So every individual, like in the course of financial management, we'll be talking about different business organizations and their financial management, but let's understand it first for an individual, right? So it is important to have all types of eggs in one basket. So for managing all those eggs or all those fruits that are kept in one basket, you have to have a proper financial plan, right? And for that, there are various steps that are there which I'll be explaining it to you further. So personal financial planning is required where one individual has to arrange to spend, to save and to invest money to live a comfortable life and to have financial security to achieve one's goals, right? And the goals could be various for different people which they want to accomplish, right? It can be getting a job, buying a car, buying a house, planning international travel. So it can be different goals for different people. So planning your personal finances is important because it will help you to reach your goals no matter what they are, right? And what is the benefit of financial planning? It first of all increases the effectiveness in obtaining, using and protecting your financial resources. Let's say you are students, right? So you get pocket money from your parents, right? So you have to maintain your finances also in such a way so that when you're planning for maybe a college trip with your friends, you have enough finances left in your pocket to spend on that trip, right? And for that you have to have financial planning, right? So it why it is important to plan your finances? Because it increases your effectiveness in obtaining, using and protecting your resources. Then it also increases the control that one person has on his or her finances by avoiding too much debt, bankruptcy and dependence on others, right? So what it means that any individual should have control of his money, right? Otherwise he would have to go to others to ask for money, or they might go bankrupt also. Bankrupt is all about, like, businesses go bankrupt, they don't have any money to distribute to the people, the salary personnel and everybody, right? The third benefit is that it improves the personal relationship gained from well planned and well communicated financial decisions, right? So to lead a living and to take care of a family, and for why family, let's talk about taking care of oneself. It's important to have a proper financial planning because it will help you in gaining well planned and well communicated decisions, right? Then another benefit is that a sense of freedom is inculcated in different individuals because they are free from all the financial worries that are there, and it arises due to the lack of financial planning. So to be free and to have a good night's sleep, it is important to anticipate your expenses and manage your finances in such a way so that your future is secure, right? Now we'll talk about the 6 steps of financial planning, right? So the first step is to determine your current financial situation. how one person will be able to calculate the current financial situation. They'll talk about what savings they have, then they'll talk about the monthly income, if they are earning or not, right? What you're earning from your job, from your allowances, the gifts that you've got, the interest that you've got from the bank accounts and others. And then what are your monthly expenses, right? So the money that you'll be spending in the current month or the upcoming month, right? Then the debts, the money you have taken from others, you have to pay the interest, or you might have to pay the principal amount as well. So when you have determined your financial situation, you will be able to start your plan. So this is the very first and foremost step of personal financial planning, which is to calculate or determine the current financial situation. So moving on to the next step, any individual or any business organization for that matter has to ask themselves that is it important to spend your money now or to save it for the future. So in the second step, where you are developing your financial goals, you have to ask yourself that is it important for you to spend the money now or you want to save it for future. Would you rather get a job right after your high school, or you will be continuing your education? Will your chosen career require additional training or education in the future? Do your excuse me, do your personal values affect your financial decisions? So what are financial values? These are the beliefs and principles that you consider that are important, correct and desirable. And people have different values. They value different things. It differs from individual to individual, right? So it is important for everybody to ask themselves and answer these questions, that is it okay to, for example, if I have 50,000 rupees with me, do I want to spend it on getting a new bike, or do I want to save it and make it a FD in savings bank account, which will give me interest for the upcoming months, right? So I have to ask myself, and when I am able to answer that question, I'll be able to develop my financial goal. Now excuse me, when you want to assess what your financial goal is, you have to answer need versus want question, right? Needs are what? Something that you must have to survive. And wants are what? These are the desire that you would like to have or you would like to do, right? So once you are clear with these two questions and you are able to answer, you will be able to decide about your specific goals. Now, the step 3 of financial planning is to identify alternative course of action, right? Suppose, we'll understand this with an example. Suppose you have $500, you are saving $500 per month. Now you have various options. You can continue saving $500, right? Do not change your course of action. Then you can expand the current situation by saving $600 the next month. Or you can change the current situation by investing that $500 in stocks instead of money going into the savings account. Or you can take a new course of action where you can use $500 to pay off your debts. So what option do you choose will be able to help you in developing a financial plan and getting clear on your goal. So once you have made a goal, for example, your goal is to pay off all the debts that you have currently. So you will be going with this option, and once you go with this option, you are clear about what course of action you want to continue with, right? Now the step 4 is to evaluate your alternative. Now you have chosen one alternative, it is important to evaluate that. For example, कि हम ठीक भी कर रहे हैं कि नहीं कर रहे हैं. So, and to do that, there are various sources available in bringing the right financial information to you, right? For that, you can have accountants, bankers, financial planners, tax attorneys, CAs, so many people are there to give you financial advice. Or you can use the help of technology, which is immense, and you are loaded with information everywhere. So you can take the help of the internet or computers or different softwares for that matter, financial softwares. These are some of the examples, excuse me. These are some of the examples, which is the media. You can gain your information from books, magazines, newspapers, radio, television, or you can have your information gathered from banks, trade unions, insurance agents, and others, right? Now, you also have to, when you're evaluating an action, for example, I have decided to take an action. Now I'll be moving further by evaluating that action. So while evaluating, I have to consider the consequences and risks of each decision that I make. And to do that, I have to first consider the opportunity cost. So like I said, for example, you all are students, so now you'll be facing this financial goal where you have to decide, like, do you want to continue your masters, or do you want to, maybe you want to go for higher education, or you want to continue like get a job and continue, start earning, and then see if you want to study again or not. So the opportunity cost is, it is what is given up when making a choice instead of another option. It is also known as the cost of the next best alternative. So if one student decides to continue his higher education, so what he has lost, he might have gotten a job of, let's say, 30,000 rupees a month, right? So the 30,000 rupees a month would be the opportunity cost into 12, or let's say he'll be studying for 2 more years. So for the 24 months, that amount, 30,000 into 24 months, will be the opportunity cost for that student, right? So the cost of the next best alternative is known as the opportunity cost, and while you are evaluating it, you have to consider the consequences also. Now choosing involves more than knowing what you might give up, it also involves knowing what you would gain. There are various types of risks also that are there, that we'll be studying in evaluating the risks. So while you are evaluating your course of action, you have to consider all types of risks that are there. Okay, so there is inflation risk, interest rate risk, income risk, and liquidity risk. So we are talking about financial situation, financial planning. So these are the different types of financial risks that are involved, in which a person has to evaluate. So inflation risk, if you are waiting to buy a car today, then maybe until next year you accept the possibility that the price of the car will increase. That is a definite thing. Another type of risk could be interest rate risk. So interest rates keeps on changing, it might go up, it might go down. It may also affect the cost of borrowing or the profits that you earn when you save or invest. Then there is income risk. You may lose your job due to the unexpected health problem, family issue, or any personal problem. So this changes the entire goals that you have made for your future, right? Excuse me. Now the fourth type of risk is the liquidity risk. Liquidity means what? How early you are able to convert. You can have cash in hand or cash in bank. So liquid money is known as cash in hand or cash in bank. So liquidity risk is the ability to easily convert all your financial assets into cash without loss in the value, right? Some long-term investments like house or maybe a car, so they are like a bit difficult to convert quickly, so it involves huge liquidity risk. Then the fifth step, after the fourth step, you have evaluated the course of action, you have considered all the risks, the consequences. Now you have to move on to creating a financial plan of action. For that, a plan of action is a list of ways that you will by the way with which you can achieve your financial goals. So if you want to increase your savings, you have to cut back on your spending, or you can increase your income. Maybe you can get a part-time job, or maybe you can work overtime, or you can take a part of your current income and invest it, right? So this talks about creating your financial plan of action, which means creating a budget. Now, after creating that budget, you have to review and revise your plan. Reviewing means what? Where, because as people get older and as organizations also get older, your finances and your needs will change. Because if you are in a business, you have to have, you will be aiming for growth and expansion, and for that the needs of your finances will also change. Now your financial plan will have to change too along with it. Now for that you have to re-evaluate and revise your financial plan every year. In businesses, in business organizations, we revise it like every 5 years, maybe 3 years. It's like that. Okay. Now, so these were a few steps which are there to uh, manage your finances. Now we'll be talking about quickly a few strategies that one can avoid uh, while making any money mistakes, right? So first is to obtaining the financial resources by working, making investments, or owning property. So before financial planning, you will like to have from where you will be obtaining the financial resources. So first is that obtain is the first strategy. Second is plan. So the key is to achieve your financial goal and financial security is to plan how you will spend your money. After obtaining the resources, you will have to plan about how you will be spending. Then third strategy is to spend wisely. You have obtained, you have planned. Now you have to make a decision how to spend wisely, because many people spend more than they can afford, and then they end up taking debt from others, right? So that's not the right way to manage your finances. Then the fourth strategy is to save. Long term financial security starts with savings planning. Excuse me. If you save on a regular basis, you will have money to pay your bills, make major purchases, and cope with emergencies. So saving is that habit which will make you feel secure for the near future or the long haul future, right? Then borrowing wisely is also important. It's there's nothing bad in borrowing or taking debt from others, but to spend wisely, to obtain wisely, and to borrow wisely is also very crucial. So when you use a credit card or take out another type of loan or take a loan from your friend or whoever, it's important that you borrow wisely and only when it is necessary, because it will help you achieve your financial goals and avoid any money problems. Then the sixth strategy is to invest. After you have obtained, spend, you have some leftover money, you have to invest, because investing increases the current income, right? Then seventh strategy is to manage risk, where to in order to protect your resources and care, you are ever seriously injured, or if a person gets sick or dies, so the insurance coverage, let's say for example, will help the family of that person who is ill or who might be no more, help to stand on their 2 feet financially, right? Now plan for retirement is also important, because there'll be an age where you will have to stop working, and during that time it's important that you have your own finances to stand upon. So when you start to plan for your retirement, consider the age at which you would like to stop working full time, and you should also think about where you will want to live and how you will want to spend your time. So it can be doing a part-time job or doing some volunteer job, or maybe traveling the world or enjoying your hobbies. So these 8 strategies will help you in avoiding some money mistakes. So this was all about our unit 1. Thank you everybody, and I'll be okay to answer all your queries.